Here's a quick introduction to the new Chebi matcher. So in fact, it is no longer a Chebi matcher in the sense that you can now match against IDs from different databases. So your input format is now different. It's an Excel sheet that contains one column called query. And in query, you can put any identifier of these types here. So this is a lipid maps identifier, this is a Chebi identifier, this is an HMDB identifier, and this is a KEGG identifier. Now, at the moment, it only searches against Chebi, but also not the 3-star Chebi, but the 2- and 3-star Chebi, which I think is sort of all of Chebi. So at the moment, it is not actually actively searching against lipid maps. That will be in the next version, but at least you can find this identifier in Chebi. Yeah, so it gives you a lot more freedom and if you've got an identifier already, say from lipid maps, then you don't have to go backwards and forwards. Now, so here in the Chebi tab, you get you also now can choose which columns you want to see. So there might be all kinds of yeah, I don't know, there's nothing really very interesting. So here's also the IUPAC formula, yeah? And that works with drag and drag. So you can have the IUPAC here if we like. Those very long names, and these will be also exported. The ones that you select will be exported in KEGG. KEGG looks much like before. You can also, of course, choose the columns. Here, this identifier, there was a problem here with the selection of the rows. This works now better again. Now pathway. Here now is a new feature, and it's not sort of solved in an optimal way at the moment. But maybe I will find a way that you can double-click on the rows here. But at the moment, I haven't been able to do that. So here you can select the pathways from a list. And you'll just have to know which pathways they are. And these are then the pathways that are actually selected down here. So up here are all pathways, and here are the selected pathways. So not all of these pathways will be exported anymore, but rather there will be a sub-selection. And so here's the compounds that you've got, and here is now the pathways that you've got. Because there's so many dependencies now, what goes into this table, you have to once click Make Output. And that will, for example, now we've got all compounds, and if we say Filter for selected pathways, and then say Make Output, then we only got 2. So this is a way of filtering compounds from particular pathways. You can save the matrix. There's really no harm done if you do. And yeah, the columns from KEGG can also be appended if you selected any. Then you press this, and it makes an Excel sheet. So when I get round to it, after my holidays at home, I will make a direct search against lipid maps, because that's probably the thing that's missing at the moment.